The fight against the big banks on crypto clarity is still happening. This is still ongoing. It seems as though we are getting closer to having crypto clarity worked out with these big banks. But again, the question here is, why is this such a big issue? Now, I will say right now, we do have a dire warning from Charles Hoskinson, and I'm sure that you guys probably already saw the video clip of him going absolutely insane against Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, highlighting the major concerns with this bill. Now, I know that a lot of people in the community think that that is a very bad thing that Charles did and that he's wrong on so many levels. However, I actually agree with him. I think that he is correct. I think that this bill had so many glaring issues in it, and I've been trying to be very vocal about this and give you guys all the facts behind this bill, because I feel like a lot of people just simply did not look at the bill, read it or anything and just say, hey, we want regulations, so this is good. But it's not that simple. It's really not a good bill. It's not good for the space at all. And I've talked about it. Now, I want to go over a few things before we really, play the video clip of Charles. But we have here Justin, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong is in talks with banks. Brian Armstrong says the White House has been super constructive and asked Coinbase to help work out a deal with the banks. They did ask us to see if we can go figure out a deal with the banks, which we're currently working on. We've been cooking up some good ideas on how we could help community banks, specifically in this bill, more coming soon. Now, yeah, things are heating up in a big way. Obviously, the main thing that we want here is we're pro regulation here. I'm not against regulations. The main thing that I'm against is bankers rewriting the rules for their favor. Now, before we really continue, I just want to let you guys know about the free Discord. If you guys are not in the free Discord, you guys are missing out on so much free information. Over 13,000 members are a part of the Discord. If you guys do want to join up, there's going to be a link down in the description below, as well as in the comments below. And of course, yes, there is a paid premium side of the Discord, which has a ton of valuable information in it. I do post weekly market breakdowns as well as midweek market breakdowns as well. So if you guys do want to go check that out, you guys are also more than welcome to down in the description below, as well as in the comments below. Now, over here, we do have Justin. U.S. crypto market structure bill could pass within a month. Coinbase says a U.S. Bitcoin and crypto market structure bill may pass within the next month. CEO Brian Armstrong noted that the legislation, widely believed to be the Clarity Act, remains on track despite a recent delay caused by industry opposition. A scheduled Senate committee vote was postponed after Coinbase briefly withdrew support, but negotiations are expected to resume shortly. And yeah, they did, pull out their support on this bill, and it was for, crucial reasons. Again, I mentioned it many times over. There's a lot of issues with the bill regarding, number one, when we think about DeFi, the regulations around DeFi within this bill would have harmed the DeFi space in a massive way. Then, of course, yes, we go back to the stablecoin yield argument. There's a lot of things wrong with this bill. So I do support the fact that Coinbase did make that move. Listen, anyone that is going against Coinbase on this recent move, I really think that you should support Coinbase and, really give respect to Brian Armstrong, because this is essentially like Ripple going to bat for us back when the SEC sued Ripple over XRP. This is pretty much the same exact setup here, except Coinbase and Brian Armstrong are the ones going against this bill in a very good fight against control from the big bankers. Again, if you actually know what's in that bill, you would be respectful on what Coinbase and Brian did. Now, we do have, from Brian Armstrong, just arrived in Davos for World Economic Forum, 3 main goals this week. Talk to world leaders about economic freedom and how crypto can update their financial systems. Continue the push for market structure legislation. Keep pushing for tokenization to democratize access to capital markets. The future of finance is here, and this time it's built for the people. Check it out.
Hey y'all, I'm here in Davos at the World Economic Forum and just wanted to give you a quick update. 3 main goals for us this week. Number 1, I'm talking to different world leaders about economic freedom and how crypto can update their financial system. Number 2, we're going to continue to work on the market structure legislation and meet with some of the bank CEOs to figure out how we can make this a win-win. This stablecoin should be an opportunity for both banks and crypto companies, as long as we're all treated on a level playing field. And of course, defer to the Senate and the administration about how to take those discussions forward. Number 3, we're going to talk a lot about tokenization this week and how it's democratizing access to capital markets. There's about 4 billion adults globally that they're unbrokered, they don't have access to any kind of high quality investments. And this is the engine of wealth creation that everybody should have access to. And crypto is going to help make that happen. So we'll keep you updated and talk soon. Hey, y'all, I'm here.
Now, this only happens if we fight back against what was in that bill. Now, we do have a post from Stand with Crypto. Now, if you guys don't know, this is a crypto advocacy organization that's fighting for crypto users, builders, and supporters. And if we look at the 4 images here, we do have market structure legislation should move crypto forward, not set us back. Swipe to get a better sense of the concerns with last week's markup draft and what's next. Now, here we have the Senate Banking Committee canceled its long-awaited markup of crypto market structure legislation intended to set a clear regulatory framework for digital assets in the U.S. Why the draft needs work. The version of the Clarity Act released shortly before markup reopened issues Congress already addressed last year and introduced new questions for crypto users and builders. What matters for a better bill? A strong market structure bill should protect consumer rewards, encourage fair competition, support innovation and financial privacy. Those principles are key to moving crypto forward responsibly. Moving towards a better outcome, clear rules matter, but getting them right matters more. With thoughtful revisions, Congress can move a bill forward that improves the system for users, innovators, and the broader economy. We'll keep sharing updates as the work continues. Now, the main thing that we are looking at is that second one, encourage fair competition. That's the issue with this bill, and we'll talk about it. But here we have the video clip of Charles Hoskinson warning crypto industry is the only defense against a dystopian hellscape. Charles warns in his latest video that we are sleepwalking into a future where AI and tech oligarchs track our every move. Our value could become a number dictating our human experience, our industry. Though chaotic is the only defense against this dystopian hellscape. No one else will save us. Check it out.
Here's the brass tacks about what's at stake. You got AI, you got tech oligarchies, and you got your entire life connected to this guy right here. Tracks everything you do, goes along with you everywhere you go, and you have outsourced everything to these tech oligarchs. And with AI, they will know every single thing about you, and they're going to put a number on your head right here, just like the number of the beast. And your entire experience as a human being is going to be based on where that number is higher and that number is low. That is the system you're sleepwalking into as you complain about paying your car payment and your bills and all your other stuff. That's the system you're sleepwalking into. Do you really want to live in a world where every single thing you say, think, and do is monitored? Do you really want to live in a world where your entire value as a human being is a number that an artificial intelligence agent has stamped on you? Because that's what you have with the legacy financial system. And no one is going to save you. The whole reason our industry exists, with its avarice, its chaos, its stupidity, its meme coins, and its bullshit, is because it's the only thing humanity has invented to avoid that dystopian hellscape of a future. That's it. That's the whole reason it exists.
And listen, I'm not oblivious to the facts here. Obviously, when it comes back to, a lot of these things that he's mentioning, a lot of these things are possible even today in the traditional system. However, crypto was essentially an escape away from it. I always thought, though, that crypto, even since its inception, was created by the government anyways for this exact reason, to get us on chain, to track and trace everything. I mean, even Bitcoin is trackable and traceable. Everything, once it's on the blockchain, is there recorded forever. So I definitely do think that there's a few, gaps in his argument. However, I do think that he is right on par with what I've been talking about here, which is the fact that, although, yeah, it does introduce a lot of issues where we have blockchain and crypto tapped into, the traditional system, we do have a rare opportunity here where we have all the leverage, where we can make the rules when it comes back to clarity. Which is why I said, let me get this right. Crypto for years threatened the bankers' business. This led them to attack the industry using everything in their power, pro-banking politicians and even regulators. Remember when the XRP lawsuit first got announced? What was the narrative again? Oh, right. It was the bankers being threatened, urging regulators to slow down and ultimately attempt to kill both Ripple and XRP. Fast forward to now, and we are supposed to tend to the demands of the banks so that we can protect their profits. That is, and I am sorry, absolute nonsense. When you have all the leverage in a fight, you don't just give up and let the enemy win. Crypto holds all the cards. Why should we just let the bankers rewrite the rules in their favor? No crypto bro should be supporting this bill, especially after years of banking CEOs like Jamie Dimon saying crypto is useless and has no value. Now those same CEOs are terrified that crypto will take too much value away from their business. We need to do better and actually read these bills before saying Coinbase bad, banks good. And yeah, that's like the biggest thing about all of this is like everyone is constantly looking at the bankers and being like, oh, hey, they have a point. They should be able to push forward here. Coinbase is bad because so many people that I watched in this space, influencers for years, they are all saying like, oh, Coinbase is operating as a bank, so, boo-hoo for them. Like, that's not a good argument here. Coinbase, I hate to be that guy, but like Brian Armstrong and Coinbase were like one of the first major players here in crypto, long before these influencers, including myself, were even here talking about crypto, looking into crypto. So again, when we think about these players, I would much rather trust Brian Armstrong than Jamie Dimon or any of these sleazy banking CEOs. So at the end of the day, right, like, this is all about leveling the playing field. They do not want a level playing field. That's why they don't want competition. Like that second one here, encourage fair competition. They don't want that. They don't like that at all. And many people, including Michael Arrington, said yes, because the stupid banks won't pay interest on deposits. If we can't have yield on stablecoins, it's because our representatives in Congress very clearly decided that hurting Americans is okay because the banks give them enough lobbying dollars to not care. And yeah, that's the facts here. Stablecoins pay you 5% plus, even on Coinbase. The big banks don't like that because, hey, they don't want to pay interest on deposits. They do not want to pay interest on deposits because that hurts their revenue. That hurts their profits. That's why these politicians, they all want to support the big banks because they're all getting paid as well. Some of the largest donations for campaigns, guess who it comes from? Oh yeah, the American Bankers Association and the big banks. Why do you believe that? Well, it's because they want to rewrite the rules. They want to, control the path that we're on because they want to keep their profits. They're hungry for the greed. And even over here, we have from Anthony Scaramucci, the whole system is broken. The banks do not want the competition from the stablecoin issuers, so they're blocking the yield. In the meantime, the Chinese are issuing yield. So what do you think the emerging countries will choose as a rail system? The one with or without yield? And again, this is all about competition. I'm not saying that China is going to win the tech race or the stablecoin race, but it does come with a lot of concerns on how much demand is going to be lost because we want to support the big banks. We can't constantly be bowing a knee to these big banks. I've said it time and time again. We have a rare moment in history here where we hold all the cards. We are the house. The house cannot lose in this situation. The house always wins unless we make a mistake and we give up that control. And guess who then is sitting at the table winning the jackpot? Oh yeah, that's right. The big banks. We cannot allow that to happen. We have a rare opportunity here where we hold all the leverage. We cannot just say, oh, hey, this is a bad bill, but hey, a bad bill is better than no bill at all, which is exactly what Brad Garlinghouse said. And although I understand Brad's argument here, it's extremely wrong because how long will we have to be under that bill before we can make any amendments to it? It's probably going to be a long time because guess what the bankers love to do? They love to kick the can down the road. So at the end of the day, I agree with Charles Hoskinson. I know that a lot of people are trying to villainize him here, but he's 100% correct. I think that if we give up full control to the big bankers, we allow them to rewrite the rules, yeah, we're going to lead into a dystopian hellscape. And regardless of if you think that we're going into like a dystopian hellscape, regardless of what the bankers do here, I really think that it's going to be 10 times worse if we just let them control the path that we're on. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys